Hey model railroaders, welcome to Back on Track with Steve. Today we need to fire up the saws and get started with assembling our baseboard work. So why don't you follow along and let's see if we can get the task completed without having to break out the first aid kits. So I started out, I sketched out all the sections that I need on the layout. And the big idea here is to get a cut list, so I want to focus on the amount of waste I'm generating and try to not to waste as much material as I can. And amazingly, by the time I got everything all built, the only scrap I had left over from this fit into a 5-gallon bucket. So that's pretty good to me. So I started out by cutting most of my sections. The layout, which is 15 foot by 16 foot with a 4 by 8 foot peninsula in the center. So I figured up I needed to build 4 sections. Those were 8 foot by 2 foot wide. I needed one section that was 7 foot by 21 foot, or 2 foot wide. One section that was 6 foot by 2 foot wide, and I needed 2 that were 3 foot by 2 foot wide. And this would leave me a 3 foot space at the entryway into the layout area for a swing bridge, which we'll build on a later video. So I used 2x4 boards for all of these sections. Surprisingly, when I went down to pick these up, when I built this center peninsula, I used 1x4s. And surprisingly, at this home center, when I went over there, I could buy a 2x4 cheaper than I could a 1x4. So go figure, half the wood, half the price. So at any rate, the pieces I used, tried to use stops to get pieces as close to perfect as I could, so that way I could do a assembly line type build on this. Luckily, I'd built this 4x center section previously and been running an oval on it, so I had a ready-made workbench, and it kept me off the floor for the most part. Did have to jump down there a couple times and measure legs and make sure I was making the legs the right length, but overall it was pretty good. So here you can see that I did a split on the wood because I just ran the screw right in on that end. It's always a real danger. So to rectify that problem, I went ahead and set up a drill so I could pilot the holes first, and that pretty well took care of any splitting problems I was having there. So that was a good lesson for me right there. I'm using 2-inch screws here. It seems to be plenty for strength and structure on this. I only wish I could work this fast in real time. As you can see here, there's another lesson I learned. I took a 2x4 and laid it down flat and used those clamps to be able to clamp down and create a stop that gave me something to push against as I was building these up, and that was really helpful. I wish I had done that on the first one of these I made, but that worked out pretty well. Also, I'm making sure to try and get these legs upright as square as I can, using my big square, and also have a speed square that I ended up using that ended up being a little bit better, and I think I got a little more accuracy that way. But I want to try and get as close to square and straight and plumb on these legs as I can. And you can see that clamps, when you're working by yourself, are a real necessity. They are so helpful.
So this may look a little wonky to people, but I still got to get the leg levelers on. That'll kind of make up for any little out of square some of the legs might be, or account for any differences in the length. Should be pretty minute what the differences are. That's a good start. Two benches kind of laid up and ready to go. So we'll go from there.
So here I'm going to go through the same process again. I'm using stops as much as I can, trying to get all my parts cut in one shot. We'll stack them up and start building. So these are the shorter sections I'm going to need, running down the 15-foot part. You see here I'm struggling trying to figure out how to use that homemade stop. I don't like using the metal stop on the side. It has a little bit of play in it, so it's hard to get perfect. But it's still better than nothing, and it's pretty helpful. So here I'm going to work on these smaller pieces. I'm marking up where each of the cross members goes. That way I can get them nice and square and even. You'll note that I'm using the 2x4 and the clamps as a stop to work against. It's really helpful. Making sure to pilot my holes on these. Don't want any more splits. Have my speed square on the inside there, checking to make sure I get everything up there square. Getting these started up, and zip, zip, zip. Look at me go. The fun part about building stuff like this is there's enough sameness in each section that by the time you get towards the end, you're really hitting a rhythm. You know what works well, what doesn't work, and you can start building these a little faster. It goes much smoother. So less mistakes. Checking for square, getting ready to put on some legs here. Highlighting my holes. I'll be adding bracing once I get these all joined together. We can brace up legs in between tables and get them as square as we possibly can that way too. And it'll make it a lot stiffer.
Okay, we have the basic structure of all the bench work put together, and last a little bit on that before we can lay them to where they need to be and join them together is we need to add leg levelers to this. So I picked these up. They look like they might be pretty good because you can see here they've got like a little lip right on this area, so when it hooks in, it'll hook underneath the 2x4 leg, and then it adjusts on the bottom with a hex wrench. So we should be able to get this whole thing pretty level. So I'll go ahead and get those all put on and then show you when it's finished.
Well, there you go. We managed to get a bunch of baseboards put together and assembled in sections. We still have all our fingers, so what do you know? So once you tune in next time, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Getting Back on Track with Steve.